Evaluate to motivate. As a member of Toastmasters, one of the benefits Jean has reaped is the ability to give quality feedback to herself, her coworkers, and her family. Today, Jean will be giving us some tips on how to give effective feedback as a speech evaluator. Please help me welcome Jean as she presents Evaluate to Motivate.
Thank you, Chris. Fellow Toastmasters, everyone should have 2 sheets of paper on their table. They're free to take them back to be used in future evaluations. How many of you started Toastmasters as most excellent speakers? How many of you have started Toastmasters because you want to become a better speaker? That's exactly what your evaluator should be doing for you. An evaluator should be a coach or somebody who is there to tell you what you have done well and where you could improve. How hard is it to give feedback on improvement areas? It was really hard for me. And following some of these tips have really helped. Because giving feedback to somebody is a good thing. I think I used to feel as being Minnesota nice, I was being mean if I told them an area that they had to improve in. And Toastmasters actually teaches you that you're helping somebody by giving them that feedback. And we'll go through some very fundamental tips. Before the speech, you should be contacting the speaker and asking what manual they will be working out of and if there's anything special that they would like you to look for. I specifically ask my evaluators to look at my speech speed. I used to go very rapidly from beginning to end, and I wasn't sure if anybody ever absorbed anything that I said. It was the personal language that helped me the most as a manager and to give that feedback. Specifically, to refrain from saying phrases like, "You didn't," "You should have done this," and to substitute them with, "I believe," or "My suggestion is that you." Those are much more positive words that to give to somebody. The other thing I always tell people when I'm giving an evaluation is, this is just my opinion. And it's up to you whether you feel that you can fit that in or whether it's the right fit for you. One of the biggest things in Toastmasters that we recommend you do is that you evaluate the speech and the speaker and not the content. And this is one of the things I see on occasion some of the evaluators will do. They will say, "Oh, I loved your speech about Italy. I went to Italy with my brother and my sister, and we saw the Eiffel Tower, we saw this, we saw that." Is that doing the speaker any good from an evaluation standpoint? Absolutely take that conversation off sidelines. I'm sure that they would love to hear about your experiences, but you should be speaking about the speech itself, how well organized it was, did the speaker have a good introduction, did they have a good opening body and conclusion to their speech, and to the speaker's qualities. How was their eye contact? How was their vocal variety? Vocal variety not just being highs and lows, their speed. Did they pause during their speech? Or was it a very same type of speed and they should alter the speed a little bit? And their body movement throughout the speech. Were they pretty much like this? And you could tell that they were nervous. And you don't say, "Oh, you look nervous." You might say, "Oh, you're holding the lectern like you felt uncomfortable," or so notice some of those things, hand gestures, and any supporting visual aids that they might have. Especially if somebody is becoming an advanced speaker, you need to be able to give them both good and any quality feedback. And that's where we get down to this part where it says, avoid being disingenuous. And disingenuous in this means where you might whitewash an evaluation. Oh, Adam, he is a very accomplished speaker, and it's hard to find some improvement recommendation but frequently you could say, I think if you would have brought in some additional props for your speech, if you're doing some, just for a visual for some people is frequently one that people do. But giving that, because if we don't give Adam any additional feedback on improvement areas, Adam's going to think, well, why do I even go there? Because I'm already a perfect speaker. You need to evaluate to motivate, and part of that means here's where you're doing well, here's where you can improve on your speech. Ask the person anything specifically that you want them to look for, because frequently not all of those things are in the manuals, in the evaluation manuals themselves. Make sure you use positive, words to give them feedback. And make sure that you evaluate the speech and the speaker. The other example I'm going to give regarding content, and this is because I feel so strongly about that, is somebody may give a speech on a subject that you don't necessarily agree with, and it's not your position to debate in your evaluation. You can debate, once again, after the meeting on something, but you're there to evaluate how well they articulated, their voice quality, did they project their voice, the eye contact, and then you can take any of that other opinionated type of the content outside, unless you can relate it to the audience. Like you can say, I think your story about the bike helped bring in the audience. It caught their attention with your story. In those contexts, you can use it. And most of all, make sure that you give high quality feedback to your speaker. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jerry.